Hi everyone, I'm Akila. In this video, let us see how to implement slowly changing dimension. I've created a new solution, which is Integration Services Project, and I renamed this package to dim country load. Before this, let me show you the country file. This is my dim country file where the data will be coming up in a comma separated format. So it got two columns, ID and name. And I need to come up with a slowly SSIS package to extract the data from this CSV file and load it to my database table. So this is the table dim country. So what is the slowly changing dimension? Slowly changing dimension in data flow. If you go to data flow and see the SSIS toolbox, there is a task slowly changing dimension. So whenever the incoming file, the data source from which you are extracting is updated, by using the slowly changing dimension, those records will be easily updated in our SQL table. If new records are inserted in the CSV file, those records will be only those new records will be inserted into the existing file. If there is no change to the CSV file, if we run the SSIS package using this SCD, slowly changing dimension, it will know that there is no date or new record or no record is being deleted from this table, and it will not do anything to the existing table. If we implement the package and see the output, you'll correlate whatever I'm saying. So let us start building the package first so that you'll understand what I'm trying to say. So let me add a data flow task. Rename this to dim country load. So I want to load dim country data. Under this data flow task, as my source file is a flat file, I'm adding flat file source. So there will be flat file destination. When you want to load the data into a CSV file or a text file, you will connect to the flat file destination when your destination is CSV. Now here, my input, my source is from a CSV file. So I'm selecting flat file source. So let me rename this to get dim country data. I'm just trying to maximize this. Yeah, zoom. Okay. Now, let me add a connection manager so that it will get connected to the CSV file and get me the data. New connection manager, dim country, get country load, get dim country connection manager, get dim country connection manager, browse under documents, star schema demo, under dimensions, I have country file. There are two columns. Yes, this is a preview of the data. Yes, there are only few records. Preview. Okay. Yes, please fetch everything. Yes. Okay. So it has created a connection manager to the source file and will get the data to this task. Now, let me load into the database first. OLEDB destination. Before I apply slowly changing dimension, I want to show you how this works without SCD. Okay. Load dim country. Enter. I need to configure the connection manager to my server. So I'm using this connection manager, which we have created already. Select the table, dim country. Yes, under mappings, I need to load CSV file ID to country ID, CSV name to country name. Okay. There are some warnings. Unicode and non-Unicode string data types. Yes, whenever data is coming from a CSV file, there is a consideration as columns data type as non-Unicode. So what I'll do is I will add a data conversion in between, load the data from CSV to this data conversion, configure this, name, select the name. See, default it is considered as string DTS star. I need to give it as a Unicode string DTWSTR to convert them into non-Unicode. So let me go back to the SQL. See what is the length of this country name column. It's only 20. So let me update this length to 20. Click OK. If you see the new column name, I have not updated. Output alias is copy of name. So updated country name. Okay. Now when I connect to this, please go under mapping and update, connect it to the new column. Updated country name to the country name. Click up. See, warning message is gone. Control yes. Now run this package and see what happens. I'm executing this package. I saved this with control yes. Okay. 3 rows has been moved from this to this. 3 rows has been moved from this to this. Okay. Now, if I go to my SQL server, if I execute this query, see, 3 rows has been inserted. Now, what I'll do is I will open my CSV file, update IND to INDA. DI. So, control yes. So, if I go back to my SSIS package and if I try to execute this again, it should throw an error because my database table will not allow duplicate primary keys, right? So my country ID is a primary key. So it will not allow to insert same ID value again and again. But my intention is, my requirement is, business has changed the IND to INDIA. The abbreviation has become a complete name of the country. So I need to update my database table, but my SSIS package is throwing an error. So yeah, there are 3 rows. It's for us to easily understand, connect to the subject. I gave only 3 rows, but in real time, in dimension table, there may be some hundreds of rows, right? So it is very hard, like which value has been updated and all. So what I'll do, I will come up with a slowly changing dimension now. For that, I am deleting this OLEDB connection. Go to SSIS toolbox, drag and drop this slowly changing dimension. Now connect the data after data conversion to the slowly changing dimension. Right. Okay. Next. Yeah, I'm configuring the settings for the slowly changing dimension. It is asking which database server I need to connect and what is a database. So it is using the existing one. If you don't want to use this, you can go and click new and create the new one. But anyway, we have created, right? So it's default, it's coming. Which table? Dim country table. What is the primary key? First, let me map this. My input column is what? This input column, this particular header is giving a list of columns from my CSV file. Okay. As after data conversion, I have added a new column by updating the data type. It will give me another new column as well. So this ID and this dimension columns are from the SQL table, dim country table. So I need to map ID to the country ID and updated country name to the country name. Now, the third column is key type. I need to select what is the primary key. We know that ID is the business key. We'll call business key in the SSIS, and ideally it is a primary key for us. So we'll select this. And this is not a key. See, this says cannot map columns of different types. So even this is, see, if you read column ID is of type system string and column country ID is of type system int 32. So the value whichever coming from the CSV file is not properly converted as a data type. It's still is a string. Okay, so what I'll do is I'll go to data conversion, select the ID. See, string DTSTR. So what I will do is I'll update the data type. I'm updating the column name, country ID, updated country ID. I will select 4-byte signed integer. Okay. Okay. Now edit. Yes. Next. Select the dim country. Select the U country ID column to this country ID column and U country name from the data conversion to the country name of the table, SQL table. Now this as a business key. See, the warning message has been gone. Click next. Now, there are three types of slowly changing dimensions. Fixed attribute, changing attribute, or historical attribute. If you want to maintain the history of the data changing, you can maintain historical attribute. So type 0, type 1, and type 2. They are the names of this. See, this is type 0, fixed attribute, type 1, changing attribute, type 2 as a historical attribute. Now let us see each and every type of slowly changing dimension one by one. So first let us go with the fixed attribute. So change the, okay, primary key will not change, right? When a new record is, the same record is coming up with by updating a primary key, it will consider it as a new record. It will insert again. Okay, even though the call country name is same, if primary key is different, it will insert it. That's it. But here, the country names changing with the same primary key because country ID is same, but country name is updated to IND to INDIA. So we have to select the column which is most likely to change and which is the important column which can be changed, updated, based on which you want to update your records in the SQL table. So country name is the column and I'm changing the type, selecting the type as fixed attribute. Let us see one by one. Click next, click next, click next. I'm not touching anything, all default settings. See, it has added, I didn't do anything after doing the configurations of the slowly changing dimension. It has come up with these two other tasks, new output, updated output. So control yes. Now if I execute this package, we'll see what happens. Okay, there is an error. Okay, what error? So how do you know the error message? Go to the progress. Fail on fixed attribute change property is set to true. The transformation will fail when a fixed attribute changes is detected. So the message saying that you said like column country name is fixed attribute. If it changes, it will fail. So as the some value has been changed, which needs to be fixed, it has failed. So click stop, go to the data flow. So if it is a fixed attribute, whenever if attribute changes, a respective attribute changes, it will just fail it. Okay, because you said here fail the transformation if changes are detected in a fixed attribute. Okay, unselect, click next, next, finish, control yes, click start. We'll see what happens. Okay, 3 rows from the CSV file to the data conversion, 3 rows to the slowly changing dimension, and nothing to the insert destination and OLE DBC. No rows has been moved or parsed or compiled. If I go to my database and if I execute this query, we'll see what happens. See, I'm executing this query. It's not updating, but my CSV file has been updated and we have saved it, right? Why? Because we set the slowly changing dimension that don't fail the report. Okay, the same primary key values has been inserted again. Try to insert again. If the values are existing in the SQL server table, don't insert it again, leave it. If there is a change, don't fail the values, don't update the values, leave it. So this is useful when you don't want to fail your package, when you don't want to update the data. Okay, now how can you update the data? There is a type 1 attribute, right? Type 1 slowly changing dimension. Go back, click edit, click next. Here, if I select changing attribute, this will update the data into your table. Next, finish. If you see, as soon as I updated my slowly changing dimension to type 1, we can see three things here, three tasks. Inferred member update output, changing attribute update output. If there is a complete new record is being inserted, that new record will be inserted into the table. And the new records will be inserted using this insert destination. And any existing columns has been changed, that will be inserted into the table using this task. So control yes. I have not updated any other data. The same file with INDIA. Click start. See, three rows from the to the slowly changing dimension and only one record using the changing attribute update to the OLEDB command one. If I go to my query, SQL table, execute this query, this row has been updated. Got it? The other two rows has not inserted now. It's already there. The package has not touched those records. It has inserted, it has updated the command. It has executed the update command only for the primary key, which is 67 of changing attribute of the country name. So it executed only one command, only update command. Okay, now go back to our country note. Now, if I update the 70. Okay, I will make it as a 70. Control yes. Okay. I updated the primary key of first row. First row. Go back to my SSIS package. Stop this and execute this again. We'll see what happens. See, as a primary key is updated, it's considering this as a new record. It has inserted. If I go back to my database, execute this query, see, there are two records now, previous record and the new one, 70 INTIA. It considered that this is a new record which needs to be inserted. It inserted. See, one record to this. Fine. Now, if I insert a completely new record, what happens? It considered this as a new complete record, right? That's what we have seen now. Okay. Instead of updating, let me add 71, comma, UK. Control yes. Go back, execute. See, it is not throwing an error of primary key violation or something because still it is considering that slowly changing dimension. The value is already existing. Don't try to insert. Only insert the new records or update the changing records. Even the new record is being considered as a new output. If I go to my database, execute this select star from this table, see, the new record has been inserted. Okay, this is changing attribute, the type 1. Okay, now let us load the other dimension table and see type 2. The other dim table is salesperson load. I have added a new package, dim salesperson load. So we have dim salesperson data, which has two columns with these uh, records. In the database, we have created a table, dim salesperson table, which got three columns: serial number of the salesperson and salesperson name, and status is the column which gives us whether the salesperson is still active or not. What is this active or not? The salesperson may change their name, and the new name might needs to be reflected in all our records or other presentations afterwards. So it's the same person with the same serial number, but name has been just changed after the marriage or some other reasons. So we need to have a track of it. Same serial number 1 with name Akila. Same serial number 1 with Akila Kovuri. So we know that if there is a primary key, it won't insert this historical data, right? So there is no primary key for this table. If you see here, we haven't declared any column as a primary key, because if it's a serial number is a primary key, it will we can't maintain the historical data. That's the reason I haven't showed you the historical SCD for the dim country, because we got a primary key there. And if you want to have a new record with the same primary key value, serial number, so obviously you can't have a primary key for that column, but it's a unique value. Wherever it is one, it's me. My name has been changed, so I got new record in this table. Okay. If I show you through the package output, you'll get more clarity. So in the control flow task, I'm adding a data flow task and naming it as dim salesperson load. In this package, we know that CSV file is the source. So I'm adding flat file source. Renaming it as get sales person data. Let me add the connection manager. Get salesperson data connection manager. Browse to the salesperson file under star schema folder. Please consider the first row as the column names. Yes, preview. Okay, this is the data. Yes, load the entire data. Fine. Now we know that as it's a CSV file, we need to convert into proper integer as per the database column data types and name to proper Unicode, because it is considered as a non-Unicode value here. Updated serial number, ID serial number, updated salesperson. Okay. Here ID 4 byte type 4 byte signed integer. For salesperson, I will select Unicode string DTWSTR. Let me check the length. This is int and this is nvarchar 25. 25. Okay. Now I will add slowly changing dimension here. Now when the data is converted, please connect to the slowly changing dimension. Connect to the server and which table? Dim salesperson table. Now after data conversion, please take U salesperson and load the data in salesperson of the table in the SQL, U serial number into serial number, and I'm not matching any status. I will not pass the status from my CSV file. I need to update this column using my slowly changing dimension. What is the primary key here? It's just a business key. That's why it's a business key. Because if it's a primary key, I can't insert duplicate values, right? Now the value which changes is salesperson. I may change my name. So let me select historical attribute. Next, this historical attribute, the slowly changing dimension of type 2 can be handled in two ways. One with a single column status, whether it's active or inactive or true or false. The other is by using the dates, start date and end dates. So we are using this one column, right? I'm selecting the first button. Okay, status is the column which needs to be updated. When value is not changed, use it, update as a true. When the value is changing, update the column value as false and insert the new record. We'll see. I'll show you the output, then you'll understand. Finish. So it is going to add all this. I haven't added all this task. See, derived column, OLEDB task, union all, derived column 1. All this task has been added by the package. Beautiful, right? Control yes. Save this package. Hit start button. Execute this and see what happens. But first stage, it has to insert all the 5 records to the destination. So go back to my database table, execute this query and see. See the status true inserted as 1 because it's a bit. So it is inserted as a 1. Fine. Now here Akhil is there, right? It's me and I'm going to change my name. Okay, I'm going to change my name as Akhileshwari. So all my records needs to be updated with this name. So what will I do? Control yes. I'm saving this file. Go back to my package, stop the package and execute it again. It should not insert all the records again and again because only changing dimension will make sure that only new records or updated records will update. See, one record has moved to historical insert. It will insert my ID again with a new name. So how do you know that? I'll just stop the execution, go back to my server, execute this query again. See, this is expected. 456, it's my serial number, Akhil with status 0. Now this name is not in use. 456 got a new name, Akhileshwari, which is status active, true. So I need to make sure the where condition like where status equals to 1. Whenever I'm doing my joins and getting some records and all, my sales and all, they have to use a salesperson name where the status is 1. They have to use Akhileshwari, my complete name. So I'm maintaining the history. So if there is no status condition check, see, I got 2 rows with same primary key. Okay. Hope this is very, very useful. We need to apply slowly changing dimension only on the dimension tables. Remember, that's main point. Hope this is very useful. Thank you.